everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's officially winning time in the NFL. In today's wild card matchup, victory is the only option for these two teams. It's the Bengals going up against the Chiefs. With that, let's get out to Arrowhead. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. Intensity level will be off the charts.
The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4". They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That was a tremendous play by the defensive line. We always talk about leverage versus any play. How about versus the draw? Underneath, they get into the backfield and make a big-time play.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. A strong running. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
And we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Going to give this time to the tailback. Down right around the 25. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Quick hitter here, it's complete.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They go play action here on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And it's a fumble. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And on the ground they go with the running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll be good enough for a Cincinnati first.
Now, coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
A couple of cheats there to bring him down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
7 yards to go on second down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll set up a throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. This will be caught at about the 5. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
1st and goal here from the 2. They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's caught at the 1. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter play.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. As the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Chiefs defense making their way back onto the field. And last time out, they gave up the chip shot field goal, but obviously could have been worse than that. I think they felt pretty good about only giving up 3.
No doubt about it. Anytime an offense gets into the red zone, the thinking naturally for the defense is, okay, 3 points. We're going to give up 3 here, but let's make it no more than that. They met their goal.
On the other side, though, the offense, they weren't very happy.
No, because there's an opportunity. Once you get to the red zone, you're not thinking about kicking a field goal. You're thinking about how do you get it into the end zone, and when you don't, you walk off the field feeling a little bit of failure on that drive.
Yeah, who will have the better feeling at the end of this drive? Now it's 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now here comes Kansas City. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a KC first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
The defense helps the offense out there. Now 5 yards to go on 1st down. Looking to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to the running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball, and that didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
He'll look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. He'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. They'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That one good for 14 yards. And that'll make it second and short.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Fresh set of downs here. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
Here we go.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Can't find anyone open. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick here is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
This will be taken in at the 1. So he shifts past him. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, I can say he's looked pretty good to this point.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. That'll hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. But tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive, go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
So we're in halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Chiefs have controlled the flow, but it hasn't given them a big advantage. The Bengals won't care how much their offense is on the field as long as they find a way to advance in these playoffs. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. 3rd down at the 24. The catch is made in double coverage, and he capped off the 8-play drive with a TD. That puts them up by a touchdown. Chiefs with the ball early in the second. Defense will win the battle and get the sack. This ends up as a loss of 9. Chiefs have the football midway through the second. Under pressure here, the ball is picked off. Bengals defense comes away with the turnover. So that's all for us here at the EA Sports Studio.